I want you to know I have full permission to share with you what I am about to share. For those of you who don't know, my husband, David, and I have 4 glorious daughters. They are older now. Moana is a little after their time. I've got a couple out of college, in college, looking at colleges. And a couple of years ago, our daughter Flynn came out to me. Isn't that wonderful? I was so happy for her. I was so happy for her that she was proclaiming her truth and embracing her authentic self and the perfect time for her. And I remember, afterwards I asked her, how are you feeling, sweetheart? And she said to me, Mom, even though I grew up in the teaching I grew up in this progressive and liberal and deeply compassionate place, she shared that saying it out loud, proclaiming her truth out loud for the first time, took courage. Even in the most loving and accepting circumstances. She taught me a lot in that moment. It does not matter the circumstances. To move forward, to speak your truth, always takes courage. Always, no matter what. My talk today is called How Endings Bless Us. How endings bless us. And the spiritual principle that I'm talking about today is freedom. Freedom. Some of you have heard me say this before. It was hard to find this, but over the years I've discovered my very favorite quote by Ernest Holmes, and I have read so much of his work daily, is truth produces freedom because truth is freedom. It's kind of in a nutshell. Truth, capital T, truth, produces freedom because truth is freedom. And Pride Month is so important because it proclaims freedom out loud for people who identify in the LGBTQIA+ community, as well as their friends and families and loved ones who are dedicated to supporting them and taking a stand for their freedom. It is a time, Pride Month, it's a time that we get to celebrate truth and the courage it takes to proclaim it. And as a reminder, if anyone here or anyone online has any question, love is 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 love. And we human beings get to love whoever we love. Whoever we love. Recent polling shows that actually 8 out of 10 Americans support non-discrimination for LGBTQIA+ people, like marriage equality. Now, take gender-affirming healthcare. It is a human right, and we take a stand in this community to protect human rights. And so as a minister, as a member of clergy, to anyone here, anyone online who has been hurt or felt hatred spewed at them by so-called Christians, I am here to tell you there is nothing Christian about that. And I am so sorry that was your experience, and you are safe here. You are totally safe here. I mean, come on. Jesus had 2 dads. All joking aside, all joking aside, because it is a really big and important conversation. All joking aside, for you courageous loves, you beloveds, you glorious humans who are in the LGBTQIA plus community, here is what I want you to remember. I've created an acronym for the word pride. Remember this, loves. You are powerful, radiant, individual, divinely expressing. That is what you are. You are a powerful, radiant individual, divinely expressing. So, I am talking today about how endings bless us. How is this connected? Hold on. It'll all become clear. So in this life, this universe has a propulsion for growth. Always for growth. We human beings are not meant to be stagnant, ever, ever. Sometimes we need to take time to experience a healing of something. That's different. The universe is always nudging us forward towards growth. We are meant to expand, and in that, it requires the endings of things. They go hand in hand, and I know not everyone is good with endings. Sometimes they can be difficult. The ending of a relationship, a partnership, a job, or the ending of an old belief, an old way of being, the ending of hiding something, even a truth about yourself, the ending of an addiction or a behavior that is no longer serving you, the ending of a dream, the ending of a house full of kids who are now grown. We celebrated our graduates a few moments ago, and it's such an incredible mixture of letting go and of dreaming a new dream for the future. Last weekend, I had such a beautiful experience participating in the ministerial graduation of our very own Sarah Forbes, who's right over there. Stand up, let us love you up. There she is. There she is. There she is. So her next step, becoming a minister, is no small thing. Her next step is she is going to be paneling in front of a panel of ministers in August. And when she passes that, because you will, we will call her Reverend. What a blessing. What a blessing. It's so exciting. And as I sat there last weekend and I witnessed her graduation from ministerial school, it was not lost on me that 11 years earlier, almost to the day, I was in the exact same place. And not only that, there's this beautiful moment. So there's this, if you're not familiar, when we go through ministerial school, we get a master's degree in consciousness and wisdom studies. And for those of you who might not be in academia or ministers, we are, in the graduation, we're given our hood. It's really a fancy scarf that's backwards, and it's just sort of, you've seen it in graduations and when we wear robes here, and it's a big deal to receive your master's hood for your ministerial robe. And as I watched Sarah kneel down, all the way down, so her two little boys could come and place her hood on her, I remembered 11 years previous, the exact same thing happened with me and my 4 little girls, who were little at the time, placed my hood on me. It gave me such pause, such a sweet memory anchored in my heart. It'll live with you forever. And I started thinking about what a blessed ending that was. That blessed ending that led to the blessed beginning of where I am today. I had absolutely no idea the trajectory of the road that life would take me in the past 11 years. I guarantee you that. What a gift. What an absolute gift. Take a moment, if you will, all of you here and those of you online, think back 11 years. It was 2012. Think for a moment. Think, loves, to 2012. What were you doing then? Who were you then? How were you then? When you think about it, every single ending you have ever experienced has blessed you into your new becoming. Every single ending you have ever experienced has blessed you into your new becoming. The key is to not get stuck in the potential pain or drama of the ending. Sometimes endings are painful. It's important. It's important that we feel that we experience that, and that we move through that. So often we can get stuck in it if we are not conscious. And sometimes it just feels more comfortable to stay in that known place, doesn't it? Even if it's a stuck place. The fear of the unknown is a very real thing, and it can cut us off at the knees if we are not fully awake. The truth is, we graduate from things and from people all the time. That's the truth. Kids grow up. We grow up. It doesn't matter how old you are. We're continuously growing. Thank God. Whether we like it or not, we change. And if we pay attention, if we slow down, my friends, and listen, we will discover that the universe is always, always, always nudging us into our next and greater becoming. Yeah, we are not here to be dormant. We are here to, as the Buddha said, be awake. That is what we are here to be. Being awake, though, being willing to accept change requires that we gently and lovingly, and sometimes with assistance, push through the fear of the unknown, and we don't give up. Our current poet laureate, Ada Limon. I love her. That's Ada Limon. I love poetry. She's my current favorite. I will change that next week, I'm sure, because I read poetry all the time. I love her so very much. She, by the way, is the very first poet laureate who will serve a 2-year second term in American history. She's that good. The following poem of hers is called Instructions on Not Giving Up. I invite you to let this wash over you. She writes, more than the fuchsia funnels breaking out of the crabapple tree, more than the neighbor's almost obscene display of cherry limbs shoving their cotton candy colored blossoms to the slate sky of spring rains. It's the greening of the trees that really gets to me. When all the shock of white and taffy and the world's baubles and trinkets leave the pavement strewn with the confetti of aftermath, the leaves come, patient, plodding, a green skin growing over whatever winter did to us. A return to the strange idea of continuous living despite the mess of us, the hurt, the empty. Fine then, I'll take it, the tree seems to say. A new, slick leaf unfurling like a fist to an open palm. I'll take it all. Yeah. I'll take it all. Sometimes your next step, that place where providence itself has co-created with your soul, where you are to be, to become, sometimes it can feel scary. If you're heading off to college or starting a new career or a job or a venture or relationship or family, or if you're adjusting to living your life as a single person or a clean and sober person or a retired person or an out and proud person, whatever it may be, naturally at first this can feel vulnerable. And if that is where you find yourself, I invite you to lean into this truth, the truth that this moment right here, this moment that you are in, this time, this is a divine rite of passage for you. Your soul has graduated you to the next place in your spiritual evolution, and you are exactly right now where you are meant to be for the highest good of you and all involved in your life. And the beautiful thing about New Thought, my loves, about our teaching, is that we understand that we are always at choice. We have free will. So you can, if you choose, you can shrink down. You can try to stay stagnant, thinking somehow that will protect you. But I am here to just give you a loving reminder that shrinking and making yourself small never protects you. Never. Never. It never serves you. Ever. Because you are at choice, you can actually unfurl yourself like the tree in Ada Limon's poem. You can stand tall in the knowing that every single thing that you have come through, and loving reminder, every single one of us that is blessed to be here this day has come through a wallop the last 3 years. So every single thing that you have come through, all the lessons and the growing have gotten you to this holy time for your freedom. For your freedom. And in order to, like the tree, take it all, we first need to acknowledge what it is we are leaving behind. If we don't, it's very easy to bypass it. Do you know what I'm saying? And then it sneaks up on you. And it's so uncomfortable when it does that. So uncomfortable. So my invitation for you today, loves, is to bless all the endings that you, my dear, have lived through. To really bless them. To bless them. So that like a leaf unfurling, you will then with open hands be able to take it all. You will be able to take all of the miracles that are right in front of you, all of the joy that is right in front of you, all of the peace that is available to you, all of the love that is right in front of you, fully and completely into this next stage of your becoming. And so I would love to, if you are willing, invite you in this moment to take a deep breath, close your eyes, turn within. Allow your breath to be easy. And for a moment, feel your heart space expand, your heart chakra expand. You may even want to put a hand on your heart if that anchors you. Lean into that place within you where love resides, where unconditional love lives at the center of your being. Turn to that. And in this next breath, I invite you to be with whatever aspect of yourself or your life experience you are leaving behind. In this moment, I invite you to surround what you are graduating from with love. Whatever that is for you today. You may be choosing in this moment to lay something down. Bless it. Bless it. Just silently send it love and bless it. Let it be easy. And now I invite you in this moment to infuse this experience with gratitude. Feel the gratitude well up within you for all of the learning and all of the growth that you have experienced from this. And once more, just gently bless it on its way. And when you are ready, I invite you to gently open your eyes. Let's all take a deep breath. My friends, you can, like Ada Limon's tree, stand tall in the knowing that you are here and in the next phase of your life to live in alignment with love and to express that love exactly as you are right now. And so instead of shrinking down in fear, I invite you to sing out. I invite you to sing out the truth of who you are. Proclaim the truth. I know it takes courage, and you have the courage. You do. Speaking of courage, this week there have been horrible wildfires in Canada. You've all seen that. And the East Coast has just been pummeled by smoke. It's just been so difficult. And many firefighters from all over the world have flown to Canada, including firefighters from here in America, to help with these fires. What an incredible example of our oneness and how small this world truly is, and how dependent we are on each other no matter where we live. And these firefighters, of course, are facing something that is unknown, something that is scary. It is a very difficult situation. And you may have heard of the firefighters from South Africa who landed at the airport in Edmonton, Canada. And they gave us an example of how we can have courage and face our fears when we are moving into the unknown, into the next step of our life. They have reminded us how we can do this, and they did it while waiting for their luggage at the airport. John, would you run that video for us, please? they sang. They also sang that traditional song, and many like it, when they were fighting apartheid, when they were marching and protesting. We can face anything. You can face anything. Standing in the truth of who you are, the power of who you are, and the knowing that joy is your birthright, no matter what it is you may be facing. Joy and freedom are your birthright. We experience the spiritual principle of freedom when we realize that every single one of us is here to express our soul in the unique way that only we can express it. To face whatever it is that we are facing in our lives. I shared that video with you because in this talk I wanted to remind you of what is possible. That you can face anything with joy, with love, with your faith, with truth. Recognizing that it's courageous and it's beautiful. Wasn't that beautiful? It's beautiful. Whatever it is you're facing in your lives, know that you have the strength to face it. To say, this is me, unapologetically, right now. Right now. Exactly as I am, taking my next step forward. Will you say with me, this is me right now. Exactly as I am, taking my next step forward.